I invented nothing new. I simply assembled discoveries as a result of centuries of work. Progress happens with all the factors are ready, and it's inevitable. Henry Ford. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored friends and guests. Have you ever listened to a song on the radio and thought, I've heard that song before? Or have you seen a movie and thought, I've seen movies that follow that same kind of plot? Or how about reading a book and thinking to yourself, I know I've read that story, something like that before? These ideas are all based on the assumption that everything is a remix. This is the name of a documentary by a filmmaker named Kirby Ferguson, and I'm going to review parts of this film to present you with a challenging question tonight. This is the question I want you to ask yourselves. Is any idea truly original? Let's go back to Paris 1961 and look at a man named William Burroughs. In a book he wrote called The Soft Machine, he coined the term heavy metal, which literally means to cut up and reuse pieces of manuscript. He also coined the term remix, which simply means to mix up and reuse. Both terms have been adapted over time and are now used in the music world to indicate cutting up and reusing pieces of music. Let's take a look at a popular band in 1968 called Led Zeppelin. Zeppelin was known for being music rip-off artists. They have many songs that were directly lifted from songs that already existed. Here's a short list. They stole music from Sonny Boy Williamson, Howlin' Wolf, Bert Jandt, Jake Holmes, and Spirit, among many others. In 1971, George Harrison from the Beatles came out with a song called My Sweet Lord. George was actually sued by the publishers of the song He's So Fine by the Chiffons, and the publisher Bright Tunes won the case. Their case supposedly proved that George did not directly steal the music from that record, but that he stole it subconsciously. How about movies like Star Wars, Nosferatu, and James Bond spy thrillers? Do you think these are original stories? It's a fact that many of these movies can be traced back to several other movies, plays, books, and stories from the past. So how does Hollywood do it? Well, they're the king of making sequels, remakes, and adaptations. They do it with genres like horror, fantasy, thrillers, or action adventures. Then they divide these into subgenres like slasher films, supernatural, and creature features. And they mix and match everything into fresh new ideas. Have you seen the movie Avatar? This is a genre of fantasy. Do you know what movie this resembles? That's right, Dances with Wolves. In both cases, they took genres and developed a subgenre called Sorry About Colonialism and made it into something original. So how do you get an idea? With something called the remix method, let's say you want to talk about 1970s disco in New York. There are 4 steps to coming up with a creative new idea. Number 1, you create boundaries. You pick a subject, be intensely interested, and be saturated with the content. And then you tighten or broaden your focus. Number 2, you consume everything, talk to people, listen to music, read books, and taste new foods. Number 3, you digest the research. You study, organize, arrange, and group things together. And number 4, and this is the most important part, is you drop it. You focus on other things, let your subconscious take over, and be ready when thoughts come into your head. And write them down. Then you wait. You take your ideas and you wait. Something fascinating will come. And when it does, you remix, reuse, and reimagine the content. And I hope it's amazing for all of us.